Can you imagine waking up one day to discover that the state you call home is fading away inch by inch? What if I told you that this isn't just a scene from a sci-fi movie, but a stark reality for parts of America? Today, we're venturing into the heart of the 10 fastest dying states in the United States as of 2024. Why are these states losing their spark? Is it the echo of abandoned factories in the Midwest, or the silent retreat of the coastal tides? What secrets do the empty streets whisper about the future of the American dream? Join us as we unravel the stories of decline that are quietly reshaping the American landscape. We're not just talking numbers. We're bringing you 100% true, current data from immigration trends to skyrocketing living costs. Stay with us as we reveal the hard-hitting facts and figures that paint a picture of a changing nation. Why are these states on the brink of becoming ghost towns? What does this mean for the people who still call them home? And could your state be next? Don't miss a moment of this eye-opening journey. Subscribe, hit the bell icon, and let's dive deep into the reality of America's 10 fastest dying states. Number 10, California. Despite its reputation as a land of opportunity and innovation, has been facing a population decline that places it among the top 10 fastest shrinking states in the United States. Here's a brief on the factors contributing to this trend. High cost of living. The state's notoriously high cost of living, particularly in housing, has been a significant factor. About 34% of Californians have considered moving out of the state due to housing costs. Remote work. The rise of remote work has enabled higher-income individuals to relocate to areas with a lower cost of living, contributing to the outflow of residents. Political climate. Political preferences have also influenced migration patterns, with conservatives more likely to consider leaving the state. Birth rates. California's birth rate is near record lows, which contributes to the slower population growth. COVID-19 pandemic. The pandemic led to a sobering death toll and increased out-of-state migration, while travel restrictions hindered international immigration. Domestic migration. There has been a net loss of residents moving to other states, often to Texas, Oregon, Nevada, and Arizona, in search of more affordable living conditions. Economic opportunities. The pursuit of better job prospects outside California has driven some of the domestic migration. These factors, combined with the state's demographic changes, have led to a decline in population, raising concerns about the long-term implications for California's economic and social fabric. Policymakers are tasked with addressing these challenges to stabilize and potentially reverse the population decline. Number 9, Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania's population dynamics are shaped by several factors contributing to its decline. Aging population. The state is experiencing an aging demographic, with the number of residents over 65 increasing while the birth rate decreases. This shift means that the elderly population will soon outnumber the younger generation. Rural decline. Rural areas in Pennsylvania are projected to see a 5.8% decline over the next 30 years, with a population shift towards urban centers. This rural exodus is part of a broader trend affecting the state's demographic landscape. Economic factors. Job losses, especially in traditional industries, have led to outmigration as residents seek employment opportunities elsewhere. The state's economic growth rate is not robust enough to counteract this trend. Connectivity and infrastructure. Limited broadband internet subscription rates and infrastructure issues hinder economic participation and quality of life, making some areas less attractive to live in. Domestic migration. Pennsylvania has seen a net loss of residents due to migration, with more people leaving the state than moving in. This is exacerbated by the state's struggle to attract new residents. International immigration. Historically low rates of international immigration, which is a primary source of population growth in the U.S., have also contributed to the state's population decline. Urban to rural transition. Some counties are transitioning from urban to rural status, reflecting the changing population density and the movement of people within the state. To address these challenges, Pennsylvania may need to focus on strategies that enhance economic opportunities, improve connectivity, and create a more conducive environment for both young and elderly populations. Number 8. Oregon. Oregon has been experiencing a population decline, which has placed it among the top 10 states in the U.S. with the fastest shrinking populations. Here's a brief overview of the factors contributing to this trend, along with some statistics. Demographic changes, migration, slowdown. The COVID-19 pandemic has significantly slowed migration to Oregon. Low birth rate. Oregon has a lower birth rate compared to other states, contributing to its population decline. Economic factors. Cost of living. The cost of living, particularly housing prices, has surged in major cities like Portland, making it less affordable for many. Labor force growth. The slowdown in population growth translates to lower labor force growth, affecting the state's economic prospects. Housing market. Limited affordable housing. There is a scarcity of affordable housing options, which discourages people from moving to or staying in Oregon. High healthcare costs. Alongside housing, healthcare costs in Oregon are also relatively high, adding to the financial burden on residents. Population statistics. In 2022, Oregon's population decreased by about 16,000 people. From July 2022 to July 2023, the population went down by more than 6,000 people, a 0.1% decrease. Over a 2-year period stretching back to 2021, the overall census numbers estimate the state's population went down by 0.5%, or about 23,000 people. Implications. The decline in population has serious implications for state revenues and could affect federal funding and congressional representation. Economists are concerned that if Oregon's population doesn't rebound, it could have long-term negative effects on the state's economy. These factors combined have contributed to Oregon's ranking as one of the fastest dying states in terms of population decline. The state's ability to attract and retain residents will be crucial in reversing this trend. Number 7. Ohio. Ohio is facing a population decline due to various factors. Here's a brief overview. Demographic shifts. Aging population. Ohio has an aging population, with a significant portion of its residents being baby boomers reaching the end of their life cycle. Declining fertility. The state's total fertility rate, TFR, has fallen to approximately 1.7 births per female, a 10% decline from a decade earlier. Economic influences. Stagnant migration patterns. Migration to Ohio has been stagnant, with the state experiencing net positive migration for the first time since the 1950s, between 2010 and 2020. Income levels. Ohio's median household income is lower than the national average and has not kept pace with increases nationally. Population statistics. Natural decline. In 2020, Ohio deaths outnumbered births by about 14,000, marking the first annual natural decline of state population on record. Projected decline. Ohio's population is projected to decline by approximately 675,000, 5.7%, by 2050 if current rates of fertility, mortality, and migration remain unchanged. Health factors. Mortality rates. From 2019 to 2020, Ohio's age-adjusted mortality rate increased by approximately 15% and was also 15% higher than the national rate. Regional disparities. Columbus versus other areas. While the greater Columbus area is growing, the rest of Ohio is largely losing population and growing older. Implications. The population decline is driven more by natural decline rather than outmigration, and this trend is expected to continue through at least 2050. Ohio's economy and workforce are impacted by these demographic changes, with a decrease in workers and economic vitality outside of central Ohio. These factors combined have contributed to Ohio's ranking as one of the fastest dying states in terms of population decline. Addressing these issues will be crucial for the state's future growth and sustainability. Number 6. Mississippi. Mississippi has been experiencing a population decline, which has placed it among the top 10 fastest shrinking states in the United States. Several factors contribute to this trend. Economic challenges. Mississippi faces economic hurdles that impact its ability to retain and attract residents. Compared to other southern states experiencing growth, Mississippi struggles with a shrinking workforce. Younger individuals are moving away in search of better opportunities, and the state has difficulties in attracting new residents. Outmigration. There is a significant outmigration rate, where more people leave the state than those who move in. Between April 1st, 2020 to July 1st, 2023, Mississippi lost about 21,616 residents due to this trend. Birth rates. The state is also seeing lower birth rates, which contribute to the population decline. Lack of urban appeal. Mississippi lacks large, vibrant cities that draw people in. While cities like Salt Lake City, Raleigh, and Nashville have become desirable due to the opportunities they offer, Mississippi has not developed urban centers to the same extent. Regulatory environment. The state's regulatory environment is seen as overbearing, with a tendency to overregulate commerce and empower government bureaucrats. This can stifle economic growth and deter businesses and individuals from settling in the state. Demographic shifts. While Mississippi has become more diverse, with increases in Black, Hispanic, and Asian populations, it has lost a significant number of white residents. This demographic shift reflects broader national trends, but also highlights the state's challenges in maintaining its population. Comparison with neighboring states. Neighboring states like Tennessee have seen the 17th highest growth in the country, while Mississippi's growth was only 45th. This stark contrast underscores the state's difficulties in keeping pace with regional growth. To reverse the trend, experts suggest that Mississippi needs to adopt policies that promote economic opportunity, reduce regulatory burdens, and create an environment that is conducive to growth and innovation. Without such changes, the state may continue to see its population decline. Number 5. Hawaii. Hawaii's declining population, placing it among the top 10 fastest shrinking states, is influenced by several key factors. High cost of living. The primary reason people leave Hawaii is the high cost of living. It's one of the most expensive states in the U.S., with significant costs associated with housing, food, and general expenses. Better career opportunities. Elsewhere, many residents move to the mainland in search of better job prospects and career growth opportunities. Domestic migration. There has been a steady outmigration of residents to the mainland, exacerbated since 2016. Natural increase slowdown. The natural increase, births minus deaths, is slowing down, indicating a change in social behavior with fewer births each year over the past decade. Aging population. The population is getting older, which impacts the workforce and economic vitality. Lack of housing and job opportunities. The lack of affordable housing and limited job opportunities are driving factors for people moving away from Hawaii. Economic challenges. Despite low unemployment rates, the hollowing out of the middle class reflects broader economic issues that affect population stability. To address these issues, Hawaii needs to focus on economic diversification, improving affordability, and creating more job opportunities to retain and attract residents. Number 4. Louisiana. Louisiana's position among the top 10 fastest shrinking states in the U.S. is due to a combination of factors. Domestic migration. A significant factor is domestic migration, with more people moving out of the state than moving in. This trend is influenced by various challenges such as natural disasters, economic stagnation, and crime. Economic stagnation. The state has faced economic challenges, with job markets not growing at a pace that can retain or attract residents. This is particularly true in areas that were once reliant on industries now in decline. Natural disasters. Hurricanes and other natural disasters have led to population displacement. The aftermath of such events often results in long-term relocation of residents. Insurance rates and crime. Rising insurance rates and concerns about crime have also contributed to the outflow of residents seeking more stable living conditions elsewhere. Births versus deaths. While Louisiana has seen a natural increase, births outnumbering deaths, It has been minimal, and not enough to offset the losses from migration. Rural decline. Many of Louisiana's rural areas have seen a decline, with populations moving towards urban centers, both within and outside the state. Infrastructure and connectivity. Issues with infrastructure and connectivity also play a role, as they affect the quality of life and economic opportunities. To combat these trends, Louisiana would need to address these issues through policy changes, economic diversification, and infrastructure improvements to create a more attractive environment for residents and businesses. Number 3. West Virginia. West Virginia's population decline, placing it among the top 10 fastest shrinking states, is influenced by several factors. Economic shifts. The state has suffered job losses, particularly in the coal industry, which has lost more than half its jobs in the past dozen years. Outmigration. More people are leaving than moving in, with a net loss of 27,000 due to migration between 2010 and 2018. Natural decrease. There were 19,000 more deaths than births in the same period. Lack of connectivity. Only 79% of households have a broadband internet subscription, hindering modern economic participation. Poverty. About 1 in 7 West Virginians live below the poverty line, contributing to the exodus. Aging population. The state has an aging demographic, with fewer young people to sustain growth. Rural isolation. Many areas are isolated, with poor infrastructure and limited access to services. To address these challenges, West Virginia needs to diversify its economy, improve connectivity, and create a more conducive environment for young people to live and work. Number 2. Illinois. Illinois has been grappling with several challenges that have impacted its population and economic outlook. Population decline. Illinois has seen a notable population loss, especially in the Chicago area. This decline is attributed to various factors, including high taxes, the cost of living, and residents seeking better economic opportunities elsewhere. Economic outlook. The state's economy presents a mixed picture. While it is bolstered by strong sectors such as financial services, manufacturing, and agriculture, Illinois faces challenges like high unemployment rates and business outmigration. Pension debt. Illinois struggles with one of the largest public pension liabilities in the United States. As of 2020, the pension shortfall surpassed $500 billion, with an average debt burden of $110,000 per household. The pension debt grew by $2.6 billion in 2023, mainly due to larger-than-expected salary increases for state employees. This has contributed to the state's fiscal instability and has been a factor in the population decline as residents move to states with lower tax burdens. These factors combined have placed Illinois among the states experiencing significant population declines and economic challenges. Number 1. New York. New York City's population has been experiencing a decline due to a variety of factors. Here's a brief overview of the key elements contributing to this demographic shift. Increased goods prices. The cost of household goods has risen significantly, affecting the financial stability and mental well-being of residents. Continuous policy changes have led to unpredictable price hikes, making it challenging for locals to maintain their standard of living. Expensive commercial areas. The high cost of properties in commercial zones has made it nearly impossible for middle-class and poor inhabitants to afford living spaces. This has been exacerbated by rising interest rates, which have driven up property prices, further increasing the overall cost of living. Crowded environment. Pollution levels, including both air and water pollution, have been on the rise. The congestion and associated health risks have made the city less appealing to those who are sensitive to environmental pollutants. Rise in crime rate. There has been an uptick in crime, which has created a sense of insecurity among the population, prompting some to relocate to safer areas. Low birth rate. The city has seen a decrease in birth rates, which contributes to the slower growth of the population. COVID-19. Impact. The pandemic has had a significant effect, with many people migrating to safer places due to health concerns and restrictions. Domestic migration. A considerable number of residents have moved out of New York to other states, seeking better job opportunities, lower living costs, or a different lifestyle. International migration. While there has been some influx of international migrants, it has not been enough to offset the loss due to domestic migration. These factors combined have led to a gradual but noticeable decline in New York City's population. The consequences of this trend could be far-reaching, affecting the city's economy, social structure, and overall vibrancy. It's a complex issue that city planners and policymakers continue to address in hopes of reversing the trend and ensuring the city remains a thriving metropolis. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and comment with your thoughts and predictions. Until next time, keep exploring and stay curious.